Right now, a new travel warning. 2 women were drugged and assaulted while on vacation in the Bahamas, unaware the State Department had issued a travel advisory in the area. Eva Pilgrim has the story. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, George. These 2 moms say they thought they were doing all the right things to be safe. They were in a pair. They didn't take drinks from strangers. They weren't drinking in excess. But this morning, they say their drinks were drugged at a Bahamian resort and they were attacked. The FBI now investigating. Shearer and Dongayla Dobson were on their first kids-free vacation on board a Carnival cruise.
We've been best friends for over 20 years, and we decided we were going to make this our girls' trip.
On the last day of their trip, they stopped at a local resort on Grand Bahama Island, a resort they say the cruise ship recommended. Once there, the mothers claim they were offered a 2-for-1 drink, which they accepted, but immediately fell ill.
After the first drink, we had to get out of the ocean because we noticed that it was just hitting so hard. I just felt so out of it.
Shearer and Dobson say they lost consciousness and allege that after drinking the drugged cocktails, members of the resort staff sexually assaulted them.
I vaguely remember glimpses of his face. I don't remember all of it. I don't remember everything. But I remembered enough of that he was a staff worker and he had a goatee and he was a local. That the resort security were able to go pull the footage and identify them right then and there.
They say there were bruises on their legs and that they tested positive for various drugs. The Royal Bahamas Police posted on Facebook confirming 2 men were arrested for sexual assault of 2 women and that an investigation is underway. Shearer and Dobson say that's not enough. They're back in the U.S. demanding justice. The State Department issued a level 2 travel advisory for the Bahamas in late January due to an increase in homicides and sexual violence. Carnival Cruise responding to the incident, saying in a statement, while ashore in Freeport, Bahamas on an independent shore excursion, 2 guests on Carnival Elation reported to Bahamian police that they were sexually assaulted at a local beach. Our onboard care team provided support for the 2 guests as they sailed back to Jacksonville. Bahamian police are investigating the matter and Carnival is providing our full cooperation. So what can you do? These 2 telling us while they thought being with one other friend was enough, they are reconsidering that now. Their advice for other women, stick to groups of 4 or more when traveling.
As we begin, we will tell you a story about 2 women who decided to take a break on a trip with their friends, leaving their husbands and children at home. Then things took a turn for the worse at a resort. They really were just wanting to have some fun while they were on a cruise. But a couple of resort employees did not keep their hands to themselves and instead attacked the women. It just goes to show that certain people's actions can make even the safest locations feel dangerous. But hang on for a second, I have more details to provide. The women's accounts are not entirely accurate, and the fact that the situation might not be what it seems.
You guys, this is crazy. I made a video last night about these 2 moms from Kentucky who were on a Carnival cruise and made a stop at Grand Bahama, and apparently 2 of the staff members there slipped some DRUGs into their drinks and then SA'd them. Well, the resort and the cruise line is saying that their story is completely wrong and that they made this whole thing up. So the resort is called Pirates Cove and they have 16 cameras around the resort and it basically captured everything. And this account on the Book of Faces has a video that's just full of information. But basically, they said upon further review of their surveillance videos, the allegations made on site and in subsequent social media posts and news stories conflict with what the time-stamped surveillance videos contain. As such, the lengthy videos of all concerned have been handed over to the local police and will be shared with our industry partners as needed. And then the resort goes on to say that the 2 guys were terminated, but because they violated the zero tolerance policy.
Simply put, the men were not fired for harming these ladies. The resort surveillance cameras revealed other violations of business policy. However, these 2 disgusting women went on a girls' trip, and we all know how some girls can be on these excursions. In addition to drinking and enjoying the beaches, they traveled there to get away from their boring lives, uninteresting husbands, and a small Midwest town to get piped down by the BBC. And then they gave a victim's story that something happened to them, and they don't know why. In my mind, I wonder why a woman would do this. Maybe she slept with them without protection, and they caught something, so they want to make up a rape narrative. There are countless stories of women lying to guys and making up accusations. The fact that actual women have gone through this while pretending to be victims makes it all the more alarming. These Western feminists' views are why some males worldwide distrust Western women of any race. If it benefits her, and she has something to gain by making false claims against you, she will believe all she has to do is shed a few fake tears and claim you did something to be charged, fired, and arrested. Your reputation and life will be ruined. When it came to the actual victims, though, they were fortunate enough to have surveillance and footage. Now for a second, try to put yourself in the shoes of the many guys who have been wrongfully convicted and incarcerated for this. After being imprisoned, people trust these women's words and assume she's a victim because there's no footage. When will we finally be able to modify the laws? And how many times will this have to occur?
So here's a timeline according to their footage. The girls entered the property at 8:17 in the morning. They were greeted by staff at 8:24. Then at 9:40, one of the girls met with one of the guys who's being accused. Then at 10:06, you can see them, looks like they're walking arm in arm with these two guys. They were headed towards the western side of the beach where the alleged incident took place. Now check out this video and then listen to what they have to say about it.
Refused to let us see a U.S. physician or a carnival physician.
Refused to let us have a rape kit done immediately. Made us go to the bathroom,
Guys, they wouldn't even give us a rape kit after we had been raped. They refused. They made us go to the bathroom and use toilet tissue, and they collected toilet tissue as their specimens.
And then they did an alcohol test on us like we were just super drunk. We had hardly any alcohol in our system at all.
Well, the resort says that their EMS offered medical assistance to both of the girls, but they declined and even signed a waiver. And then they left for the cruise ship in a private vehicle, but knowing the gravity of the incident, their officers boarded the cruise ship, providing an SA kit and hospital form to the ship's medical doctor. So that's completely different than what the girls are saying. And just to throw in there is now a GoFundMe with a $10,000 goal. Apparently it's to help raise money for medications that they need that help prevent certain diseases.
As you can see, a lot of Western women are brainwashed. Not all women are taught to use their tears to hurt men when it suits them, like the tears will save them. You can find an overwhelming amount of evidence supporting my claims too. But when it comes to some Western women, it seems like no man is safe. Even though there are situations like these where women have been victimized, it's unfortunate that they promoted these ladies without good evidence of anything happening. It only goes to show how irrational and aggressive the world has been towards men the moment a woman even says that she was victimized. When this story initially occurred without seeking proof or conducting an investigation, they let these ladies simply get on the news to spread this false allegation. Since women like these two exist, men are starting to question why they should trust any woman. Stories like this, which have no basis, are harmful to people and further tarnish the reputations of the guys who are engaged. Regarding this situation, most of the time women are the ones who commit these acts and then cry wolf. If you enjoyed this and would like to share your thoughts, please like and comment.